Story begins with a girl named Mallory, who is drawing. Mallory is pregnant and due to give birth soon. Her sister, Jessica, comes in and asks if she has seen the news. The news was showing some strange events. When Mallory watches the news, she learns that a strange affliction has spread in Russia, causing people to lose control of their minds and compelling the infected person to commit suicide. The reporter states that it's still unclear whether it is a disease or a virus. People suddenly lose control and mercilessly end their lives after seeing something. The news reports that this affliction has spread across millions of people and is now extending from Russia to other countries. Mallory dismisses the news and goes to the hospital for her pregnancy checkup with Jessica. There, the doctor gives her the good news that the baby is perfectly fine and she will soon become a mother. Happy with the news, Mallory starts to head home. But as she leaves the hospital, Mallory sees a girl repeatedly banging her head violently against the front glass. Mallory panics and quickly gets into the car with Jessica. Mallory tells Jessica to drive fast as she believes the dangerous virus from Russia has reached them. Outside, chaos had erupted on the streets and everyone was starting to kill themselves. Jessica quickly starts the car and speeds towards home. But the situation worsens. Many accidents start happening on the road. Mallory becomes very scared seeing this. Just then, while driving, Jessica sees something that causes her eye color to change. Jessica loses control of herself, accelerates the car, and starts crashing into oncoming vehicles. Mallory tries to stop her, but Jessica doesn't stop, as if someone is controlling her brain. The car then crashes into another vehicle, causing an accident. Fortunately, both survive the crash and get out of the car. But before Mallory can comprehend anything, she sees her sister, Jessica, step in front of a truck and end her life. Mallory is terrified, witnessing Jessica's horrific death right before her eyes. But the situation was so dire that she didn't even have time to go near her sister's body. She sees people running around and joins the crowd, running forward. But someone from behind pushes her down. Just then, a woman comes to help her. But before the woman can lift Mallory, she also sees something in front of her, and like Jessica, she climbs onto a burning car and commits suicide. Meanwhile, a man named Tom arrives. He lifts Mallory and takes her inside a nearby house. There were already some people in this house who were also terrified by these sudden events. Everyone inside the house asks each other what is actually happening, but no one knows anything. So they turn on the TV. The news reports that there is something outside that makes people go mad and attempt to kill themselves the moment they see it. The reporter states that this virus has spread across the entire world. Therefore, those who are not yet infected should close all their doors and windows and avoid the mistake of going outside. They quickly close all the windows in the house and cover the glass with paper so that the gaze of that demon outside does unfall upon them inside. 3 days pass like this, but no one still understands what is happening. Everyone sits inside, worried. Just then, someone knocks on the outside door. A girl cries and pleads with them to please open the door. Tom goes to open the door for the girl, but Douglas warns him not to, fearing the girl might be infected. But Mallory points a gun at Douglas and tells Tom to open the door for the girl. Tom opens the door, and the girl enters. The girl's name is Olympia, and Olympia was also pregnant. When Olympia is asked how she managed to reach there blindfolded, Olympia explains that she ran out of food. So she knocked on the door of every house one by one until she reached them. Hearing this, Douglas says, "We are also terribly hungry because these people have been trapped in this house for the past 7 days." So, they start thinking about how to bring food from outside. Although there is a supermarket a short distance from the house, reaching it blindfolded was a major challenge. Then the homeowner says that CCTV cameras are installed outside the house. If they can figure out the location of the creatures through the CCTV camera, they might be able to avoid them and reach the supermarket. The homeowner further adds that he doesn't think people will get infected even if they see the demon on the screen. but everyone else tells him not to do such a thing. The homeowner then says, "If we don't take this step, we will all die of hunger." Hearing this, the others also agree that he has a point. They tie him to a chair with a rope so that even if he gets infected, he cannot kill himself, because anyone who saw that demon would attempt suicide. Then the others leave him there and go to another room, and the man starts looking at the screen. After a while, we see a flicker of wind on the screen, and we see his facial expression starting to change. Gradually, the color of his eyes changes. A little later, loud screaming starts coming from that room. The others rush to him upon hearing it. But before they can reach him, the homeowner kills himself by repeatedly smashing his head into the table in front. Seeing all this, they are terrified, and one thing becomes clear to them. Whether you see this demon on a screen or with your bare eyes, it will surely kill you. After this, they break the monitor screen so that their eyes don't accidentally fall on the demon. Another day passes like this, and now they are starving. So, they come up with a second plan to go to the supermarket. Tom suggests, "We'll use GPS to reach the market by car." Then they cover the car windows with paint so that they can neither see the outside scene, nor can anyone outside see them inside. Then, 5 of them go out in the car with the help of GPS and slowly move forward without looking at the road, guided by the GPS. Here we see that the whole city has become deserted. The roads all around are littered with corpses. After driving for some distance, the car starts shaking rapidly. The car sensor indicates that the creatures have surrounded the car from all sides. But Tom doesn't give up and drives the car forward, and somehow they reach the store. There, they put on blindfolds, get out of the car, and reach inside the store. Once inside, they first close the windows and doors, and then remove their blindfolds. The store has food and all the necessary items, which makes them all very happy, and everyone collects as much food as possible. Here, we see Mallory and Tom talking to each other. Tom was a good person and had also saved Mallory's life. From their conversation, we learn that they have started liking each other. After this, they both start looking for essential items for themselves. Mallory finds 3 birds in a cage, which she keeps with her. Just then, someone knocks on the store door, but they are too scared to open the door for the person. The man then pleads, crying, "Please open the door." Now, they feel pity for this man, but they also fear that the man might be infected. So, they prepare themselves at the door beforehand, ready to shoot the man if they have even the slightest suspicion that he is infected. The moment they open the door for him, the man tries to force his way in and says, "These creatures are so beautiful. You all should see them." Hearing this, they realize that this man is also infected. Now, they had no way to get the man out. So, to save everyone, Charlie shoves the man outside forcefully and goes outside with him. Outside, the man badly beats up Charlie, and Charlie sacrifices his life to save his companions. Here, Mallory notices that the birds start screeching when the creatures are nearby, and now these birds will become a great hope for them. After this, the remaining 4 return with the food, and they are all very sad about Charlie's death. Now it is night, and we see everyone has gone to their rooms. Just then, someone knocks on the outside door. Olympia explains, "I was outside alone. I know how difficult it is to be alone outside. So, out of pity for this man, I brought him inside." And this man, whose name is Gary, states, "Please don't kick me out of the house," he says. "Some psycho people broke into my house, who forcefully opened my friend's eyes and showed them that demon, which caused all my friends to commit suicide. But I somehow survived and reached here while fleeing." Here we learn that whatever the demon shows to the person who sees it is something that terrifies them deeply. That is, the demon shows the person the greatest sorrow or loss of their life. This sorrow is so profound that the person cannot bear it, and suddenly, overwhelmed with despair, the person commits suicide. Gary says a few more things here. He mentions that those psycho people were not blindfolded. Rather, they were happy to see the demon. From Gary's words, we learn that the demon cannot kill a person who is already very unhappy in their life because they are already broken from the inside. Therefore, this trick of the demon does not have much effect on a person who is already living their life in despair. Instead, the demon makes them its slave so that these people can hunt more humans in human form. Now, whether Gary is also a puppet of that demon or just a normal person like them, we will find out later. Everyone here allows Gary to stay in the house, but Douglas doesn't trust Gary at all, and in anger, he threatens him with a gun to leave. But just then, Charla comes from behind and hits Douglas on the head with something, knocking him unconscious. And everyone locks Douglas in another room, and Gary expresses his gratitude to everyone. The next day, Mallory and Olympia suddenly both go into labor at the same time. Tom and Charla help them and take both of them to the upstairs room. But Gary stays downstairs, and his behavior also starts becoming somewhat strange. He takes out many pictures of the demon and places them on the table. And we understand from his eyes that Gary is also under the demon's control. Meanwhile, Mallory and Olympia give birth to their children. Olympia has a girl, and Mallory has a boy. But the caged birds downstairs start screaming. Annoyed, Gary picks up the cage and locks it in the fridge and removes the paper covering the windows. Douglas, seeing his behavior, realizes that he is also a puppet of the demon, who doesn't die after seeing the demon, but rather takes the lives of others as per the demon's instructions. Douglas shouts, "I told you to throw this man out of the house." Hearing Douglas's voice, Tom comes downstairs. But just then, Gary comes from behind and hits Tom on the head, knocking him unconscious. Then Gary moves towards Douglas to get rid of him as well. But just then, he hears the sound of babies. So he leaves Douglas and goes to Olympia and Mallory's room upstairs. There, he removes all the paper covering the windows. And as soon as Olympia looks outside, she comes under the demon's sway. Now Mallory understands that Olympia will now kill herself no matter what. So she snatches Olympia's daughter away from her. And just then, Olympia jumps out of the window and ends her life. Then Gary grabs Charla, forcefully opens her eyes, and she also gets infected and kills herself. Now Gary moves towards Mallory, but she had hidden herself and the two children under a blanket. So she remains fine until now. But Gary snatches the blanket from her and starts urging her to look outside. But just then, Tom arrives there with a gun and tries to shoot Gary with his eyes closed. But Gary knows that Tom cannot see. So he takes advantage of the opportunity, runs towards Douglas, and throws him down to the ground floor from the upper floor along with himself. Gary kills Douglas with scissors, saying, "You will not see the beauty of that demon." Meanwhile, Tom regains consciousness, somehow picks up the shotgun, and kills Gary, finishing him off. After this, Tom goes upstairs and calms Mallory and the children. Now, only Tom, Mallory, and the two children remained alive. The scene then shifts to 5 years later. Mallory and Tom are now in a relationship, and the children have also grown up. But the danger is not yet over. People still under the demon's control roam outside, and they would catch and kill ordinary people. They have been living silently like this for the past 5 years. Mallory had taught the children all the methods for surviving in this difficult situation. Here, you might have already known that the boy is Mallory's own son, but the girl is not Mallory's daughter. Rather, this girl is Olympia's daughter, whom Olympia had entrusted to Mallory before dying. One day, a voice comes from the radio, where a man named Rick informs them, "The place where we are is completely safe. We have a colony here. This colony has food and all the necessary amenities." The man says, "If you want to come here, follow the river current. When the river current is strongest, you will find our colony in the middle of the nearby forest. There are many birds there whose sound you can follow to find us. And yes, it will take you 2 days to reach here following the river current. Tom trusted the man and wanted to go there. But Mallory warns against going there. She says it might even be that the man is infected, who wants to lure us out of here and kill us. At night, Tom explains to Mallory, if we have to survive, we must go there. How long will we continue to live like this, blindfolded? The next day, when they go outside to get supplies, some psycho people attack them. Tom explains to Mallory and the children, this is the time to leave here. I will keep those people engaged in conversation. You quietly leave through the back way and reach the place mentioned on the radio via the river. But Mallory didn't want to leave Tom alone like this. Then Tom says, one of us has to give their life for us to survive. After this, Tom gets Mallory and the children out through the back way and comes in front of those psycho people with a blindfold over his eyes and a shotgun. They tell Tom to remove the blindfold, but Tom tries to mislead them with words so that Mallory can get out with the children. But just then, they spot Mallory leaving. Now, before they can go after Mallory to catch her, Tom shoots and kills 2 of them. He also gets wounded during this time, and it was becoming difficult for him to finish off the rest without seeing. So he removes the blindfold from his eyes and kills the other 2 people present there as well. Now only one psycho person remains, and when Tom goes to kill that last remaining psycho person, the demon also arrives there and starts bringing Tom under its control. But before he is completely under control, Tom kills that last remaining person too, and then takes his own life with the same gun. On the other hand, Mallory understands from the sound of the gunshot that Tom is now dead. She cries profusely, as Tom was her only support in this difficult time. After this, she starts preparing to go to the address mentioned on the radio. She explains to the children, this journey will be very difficult, but we must go there to survive. And listen carefully to one thing. No matter what happens, the 2 of you must not remove your blindfolds. Otherwise, you will die. After this, Mallory and her children put on blindfolds and head towards the river and reach the river with the help of a rope. There, they board a boat and start moving along with the river current. Mallory also keeps those caged birds with her. After a few hours of travel, Mallory contacts the people in the colony she is heading to via the radio. But just then, the caged birds start screaming. And at that very moment, a terrifying voice starts calling Mallory repeatedly. But she ignores everything and continues to move forward. After going some distance, that voice starts coming closer to her. Now we see a man come quite close to Mallory and tell her, remove your blindfold. You are safe here, and I also have food. But Mallory hides the children under a blanket and starts shooting randomly with a gun. The man then realizes that Mallory will not remove the blindfold. So the man comes near the boat and attacks Mallory, trying to forcibly remove the blindfold from Mallory's eyes. And this man, like Gary, tells Mallory, you should remove your blindfold and see that demon. He is very beautiful. But Mallory attacks him with a weapon to save herself and kills him, escaping from there. Traveling like this, 24 hours pass for Mallory and the children, and they become very tired. Just then, the boat suddenly hits a truck, causing her son and the food supplies to fall into the water. Now, Mallory manages to save her son from drowning, but the food supplies they had float away in the river. Seeing this, Mallory becomes very worried because if they don't find food, they will die of hunger. So Mallory brings the boat to the riverbank to look for food and tells the children, no matter what happens, the 2 of you must stay in the boat and absolutely do not remove your blindfolds. After this, she ties a rope from the boat and reaches a house in the middle of the forest while looking for food, and she finds some food supplies there. But when she is about to return with the supplies, the demons get on her trail and start calling Mallory in a human voice. Mallory fires her gun and quickly flees from there. Hearing the sound of the gunshot, Olympia's daughter ties a rope around herself, gets out of the boat, and goes straight to the demon while looking for Mallory. But Mallory pulls her back just in time and scolds her in anger, saying, "I told you not to get out of the boat." After this, the three of them start their journey again. And now Mallory and the children have been traveling continuously for 42 hours. Mallory explains to the children, "Now there will be a slope in the river, which will make the water current very strong. So, hold the boat tightly." After moving a little further, the river current starts becoming strong. They hold the boat tightly, but this path was very dangerous. Just then, their boat suddenly flips over and all three fall into the water. And the three of them float in the water. Now Mallory grabs her son in the water, but Olympia's daughter finds land and starts calling Mallory. Hearing the girl's voice, Mallory finds her too. In this way, they had crossed the most difficult part of their journey, and now their destination was quite close. They proceed into the forest, and just then, they also hear the sound of birds as they were told on the radio. They follow the sound of the birds and go in that direction. But just then, the demon also reaches there and starts chasing them. The demon tries to lure them into removing their blindfolds. But Mallory tells the children, "Don't pay attention to the voice and keep moving forward." While moving forward, Mallory suddenly falls into a hole and passes out. The children also become worried about where Mallory went. They start looking for Mallory everywhere and taking advantage of the opportunity. The demon calls out in Mallory's voice, telling the children to remove their blindfolds. The naive children mistake the demon for Mallory and start removing their blindfolds. But just then, Mallory regains consciousness at the right time and shouts loudly, telling the children not to remove the blindfolds, and reaches the children by following their voices. After this, Mallory starts running with them, following the sound of the birds, because, by now, the demon was right behind them and was trying every possible effort to stop these people from entering the colony. But they ignore the demon and finally reach the place, and Mallory quickly asks the people to open the door. They bring them inside, and first of all, their eyes are examined to ensure that they are not infected. When they learn that these three are not infected, they bring the three of them inside the colony. Mallory removes her blindfold and sees that this is a school for the blind, where most people cannot see, and therefore the demon cannot harm them. Here, Mallory meets a man named Rick. He is actually the person who gave Mallory and Tom the location of this place through the radio. Many birds are also kept here so that they can get warnings of danger. Mallory also frees the caged birds. With this, the story ends. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.